I know they're not blowing that fireworks early like that. Dang. Hey, YouTube. I'm gonna wait till some more people come on in. Who's in here, anyways? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up or just say hello in the chat. Hey, Tyson. Who else is in here? There's two people, so I know Dorian usually be on, but they be working, so I understand you won't respond, but that's okay. So I'm gonna wait a few more minutes, and then I will start and begin. So let me go ahead and anybody wanna? I don't want to. That's why. You don't have no picture on your thing. You got T. That's it. So all right, 3 people in the room. Come on in. I'm gonna have to start doing some introduction music when I come on, just like some of the other YouTubers. But since I'm not monetized, then I'm not going to really put a whole bunch of effort in editing videos and all that stuff. So, all right, what happened? It went down to 3 people. Now it's down to 1. Nope. You show your face, Tyson F, and I will come and show my face. Otherwise, this is my picture. Hey, Vicky. I ain't seen you in a minute, even though I haven't been on for a while. Hey, Willie. So don't ask people to show their face if you don't have no picture of any sort under your tab. Y'all seen my face before in previous videos, so it ain't important. All right, I'm gonna wait a few more minutes because I don't want to go ahead and retell this thing all over again and tell the story. So y'all might have to catch the replay. So I'm gonna start a few more minutes. Go ahead in the chat, give me a thumbs up. And then I'll go ahead with my updates. So let's give it a few more minutes, see what you're up to. Because I know a lot of y'all like to stay on and come on at the last minute. I'll be on here for an hour. And then here come people want to come on and then they say, don't go. I've been on here over an hour. Now, these StreamYard, they only give you 20 hours a month. So once you go beyond, and this is the free edition. So if I was going to buy a monthly subscription with StreamYard, then you basically have unlimited service. But when you have the free, they're not going to let you talk for hours and hours every single day and going beyond the free number of hours that's allotted. So, yep, these 3 people coming back. So anyway, let me go ahead and begin. Now, as y'all know from the previous night about the neighbor.com with the rental. So remember I told you in exchange for keeping things in the garage, or pay for the $125 a month if you want to store additional items in the garage. So basically, the next day, I sent her a text message. I didn't get no response. And then later on that afternoon, right about noonish, she calls me. I saw that you called. And I said, yes. So she already knew. She keeps telling me, my mama going to call you. For what? Just like I asked her previously, for what? What reason does your mother has to call me about? So anyway, they didn't come back. I told her, just let me know when you're ready to get your stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be kept as is. I told her I don't want the table because, she was trying to, I'll give you a granite top. I said I was going to give it to you at no cost. And I said, no, I don't want it. I don't need no more stuff in my apartment. And to be honest, there was no way you was going to deliver that free table to my house. Because see what that would have been, she would have said, oh, I will come and give you the free table. Then she would have came with some other stuff to be put in the garage. So I already called her bluff. So she didn't, because the old man already was complaining about he wasn't going to come back the next night and do all that stuff. He didn't, and pack whatever to try to move more stuff. So I told her, nope. If you want to put any more things in that garage, then it's $125. Otherwise, I said, and I told her straight up, you basically got over me with putting things in the garage and that extra closet downstairs in my coat rack and the stuff that's packed up in the room already. And she knew it too. She knew it. And I said I told her I was being nice because I saw that y'all was struggling just to get someone to get your stuff moved. So, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. But she knew that ad said a closet rental in a room for $30 a month, which basically was to store some boxes in a closet, and that was it. So she got over, but trust and believe, as long as, she's going to get charged for every time she has stuff in this house. So if she keeps it there for a year or whatever, you're going to pay for whatever. No, so when she called me back, she talking about she was, her birthday was the next day and she was on her way to Florida and stuff like that. And, whatever. So whatever thing she had got going on, she was already basically leaving out of town. So as long as that credit card goes through every month to pay for that storage, that's fine and dandy. But if that does not go through every month, or something funny goes on, or something fishy going on, that shit going straight up to the curb, and it will be evicted. And I will sell everything at that room and sell it or donate it. So if she wants her stuff, you ain't gonna keep your stuff in there and not pay. So that's how I'm gonna look at it like that. But if it shows that it's not being paid and it's still stored, she better read the contract. I have every right to throw that shit out. So I'm gonna keep monitoring it and see. But she said, I just told her, just let me know when you want your stuff and when you're gonna pick it up, and you're not gonna be taking stuff out. See, this is not what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna be when it's time to get your stuff, you're gonna take stuff and take 4 days to get it out. So either wherever she is in Florida trying to settle down, she better drive from Florida, Fort Lauderdale, to Atlanta in a rental truck, one-time pickup, and get that stuff out. And I'm not going to lift a finger either. I'm not going to do it. I ain't did it when I was, when she was moving her stuff in there. I tried it. So I'm not going to do that again. So you better have somebody to move those boxes out. And that's it. So that's the situation with that. They never came back the next day. Didn't hear nothing back. Good. So, And then let me see, what's the other issue? Oh, okay, y'all. The PPP Care Act stimulus money, PPP loans, that's coming, and even rental assistance. If you need rental assistance, that's coming to an end come the end of the month. So I got an email the other day about that. Remember I told you it was the $5,000 for the grant. So I got the email. I said, okay. They said, I see that you did not apply for the $5,000 grant. The deadline's approaching, blah, blah, blah. So I filled it out, sent it back. And hold on, y'all. I'll be back in a second. Let me see something here. Oh, my foot. Ooh. All right, I'm back. So anyway, all that money for stimulus and PPP and rental assistance and PPP loans, ELE grants, all that's coming to an end at the end of the month, or better yet, it's supposed to be the middle of the month. So, and then some of the programs had ended last month. So that's coming to a boil to an end. And all the monies that have been given out for various different programs on that CARES Act, because it wasn't just the PPP loan, the ELE grants, it was also monies given to companies to have contracts with the CDC to make appointments, answer questions about the vaccine and all that stuff. Because remember I was telling you I was working with a company called Maximus. So anyway, the job is coming to an end. The last day is Tuesday. And so ironic is they want you to work Sunday, which is a 4th of July holiday, but technically Monday is the holiday observation for the 4th of July. But I'm still supposed to work both those days. They're going to give us 8 hours of the holiday pay, but it's not like overtime or time and a half or nothing like that. So basically, that will end on Tuesday at 4:30. That will be my last day with Maximus. It's not just me; it's a reduction in staff because they weren't getting the calls. Now I remember. Now I don't know. Now some of y'all know, Erica. I know. I told you how literally I sit here all day, no calls come in, nothing, and it was like, I want to say, what is it, 3 months? And I probably took 2 calls and a whole bunch of test calls. When I mean test calls, I'm talking about it would ring and then it would tell you, please transfer it to as a test call. That was it. It was nobody calling in. And basically, people just chilling. I had got transferred, I got changed over from one manager to the next. This asshole, he gonna be like, um, they work on a system with Genesis where you using your own computer. I have strong internet connection. I'm hardwired and everything. He says, well, I just see here number of logons, this and that or whatever. I'm sitting here like, Negro, you just called up, make it sound like you doing something so important. His last day is Tuesday as well. He don't work for the CDC. He works for Maximus. He just like anybody else. And he's like, well, I didn't need an explanation and this. I don't know. I wasn't even hardly trying to chit chat with him. And we were in the like not Zoom meetup. So he doesn't see my face. I don't know what he looked like. He don't know what I look like. I didn't put no picture up or nothing. I'm sitting here like, whatever. I said, all I know is I come on to work every day on time. I punch out, go to lunch, do whatever, and leave on time. Now, anything else you talking about, that's not my issue. Maximus need to check their systems. But did you call the help desk? No, I'm not gonna call the help desk. They'll do what? They don't know no more than anything else. And I told him I'm very familiar with Genesis. I worked with Genesis systems with other companies that I used to work with. So I'm very versed in terms of how things work. Well, did you let me know? First of all, I was like, you only been my so-called manager of a week. I came back from New Orleans, which was like 2 weeks ago, and next thing you know, I was changed over to a team. So he only been the manager for 2 weeks. This will be the 2 weeks because I'm off Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday. No, I mean, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'll come back to work Saturday. So I only been with him 2 weeks. And at those 2 weeks, he only called, from the day one. He didn't know what the hell he talking about. I'm talking, I'm supposed to get a COVID test done. They supposed to give you 4 hours to go, and they supposed to pay you to get the COVID test. And I'm telling him that my appointment's at 1:00. He's like, well, I see that you logged off, and I see that you did. Man, nigga, shut up. Bye. Y'all when Tuesday come at 4:30, you ain't gonna have no job either. And let me tell you how Maximus works. Maximus basically is a company that contracts with various different states and federal agencies that provides staffing support. So I don't work for the CDC. I wouldn't work for the IRS. I wouldn't work for any state. I work with Maximus, but they're contracting different agencies like the state, federal agencies to provide the support. So they get a contract, and they've been around. They said they've been doing this since 1975. So I never heard of Maximus until now, but I'm familiar with companies that's contracted with federal and state agencies. There's a lot of companies where you can work as a contractor, but you just providing support for a federal agency. And there's a lot because a lot of these federal agencies like CDC, IRS, whatever, you could still work directly with these agencies, but you have to go to usajobs.gov and apply directly. But you don't get any benefits, like for instance, I just got approved for the benefits for medical, dental, and I was like, if I knew it was going to be like that, I would have never got any of those benefits. So I got the benefits, dental, and all the other stuff. So I was able to use the medical when I went to the doctor last week, and then I went to the dentist 2 days ago. So then the insurance for my medical and stuff, that ends at the end of the month. So I was like, that's a waste of money. I could have not even, because I'm not planning on applying for another job with Maximus, because I just didn't like how they really handle things, and seeing that you don't get paid. You have to work on holidays, federal holidays, in which agencies are closed, which doesn't make any sense to me. If the CDC is closed on Sunday, and I know they close Monday for the holiday, why are you saying week work and ain't no calls coming in. So I was like, this bunch of blew up BS. So I'll probably call out Sunday because I'm supposed to be volunteering with the Peachtree Road Race. So I'm supposed to be there around 4 something in the morning until about 7ish. But by the time I get home, I'm going to be late. So I'm going to call in. I'll be late Saturday and probably call late Sunday because I'm supposed to volunteer this weekend for the 4th of July Peachtree Road Race. And I've been volunteering with the Peachtree Road Race for at least 6-7 years now. I didn't do it last year because the race was canceled, but I've been doing it for a long time. And I even ran the Peachtree Road Race a few years ago, a couple years ago. No, I won't say couple. I would say at least 3 years ago. I was not in shape at the time. I was not. I just won a ticket for road race, and I said, okay, it's free. Let me try to do it, and I did it too. I completed it. I jogged a little bit, walked, but it was a very good experience. I still got pictures on my Facebook of me doing the race, and you would see exactly how big I was. This was before I had my breast reduction surgery. I was like over 300 something pounds at the time, but I did it. But that was my journey of my fitness. And so I'm going to do it again. But I'm going to volunteer this year. So I'm going to do it Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully I'll wake up on time to get downtown and go to my designated spot. But I just got an email that they canceled the setup. I was supposed to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday to volunteer. So they said they canceled it because of weather. They said it was going to be some weather issues. So they canceled Friday's thing. So hopefully I'll be there Saturday, Sunday. I'll be there in the morning, make my way back. And I ain't going to fret about it. Put it that way. I ain't going to be, I gave me my check, If any, because I'm too ready to go with that. So that's that situation. So good thing is I just got to apply for unemployment, but I'm supposed to be working. Well, not supposed to be. I start Amazon next Thursday, 3 days a week, and it's only going to be about 36 hours. So it's not going to be 40 hours, but it's supposed to be $18 an hour. And it's supposed to be one of these newer facilities. And I haven't seen it, what it looks like, but it's supposed to be one of these more robotic facilities. So it won't be too much walking up and down. And, it's like basically the robots come to you and you're supposed to do whatever. But I'll tell you about that after my first day and tell you how that goes. But it won't be as strenuous as the previous assignments with Amazon. I won't be in no freezer. I won't be, picking groceries. I won't be lifting stuff out of a truck. And, it won't be that. It ain't going to be like that. So, but I'll tell y'all how that experience goes. But I'm going to work there because you get $1,000 sign-on bonus. So I showed them my vaccination card. I'll get the $100 bonus on your first check. Then it's $1,000 sign-on bonus. So they give you the first $500, 30 days. And then after 90 days, you get the last $500. So I'm going to do that. And, it's in Brazelton, but, it's like 50 minutes away, but it's like a straight shot, basically, the way that I'm going to drive there. So it'll be an interesting thing. And I still have my other gigs that I've been doing, like today I did Field Agent, Survey.com, and I did this other one, Observer. And I did two things with Observer, which so happened to be at the Walmart up the street. So it was two different things, but it was at one Walmart. And that paid me $15 total. It was $8 just to put some labels on a syrup thing or whatever it was. And then the other one was to take pictures of the health and beauty aid section. And that was like real simple. And then I had, I said, survey. I said, hey, Colas, I saw that they had a sign for Publix. It was $15 to check some product on the shelf. And I went there. That was easy. And I ended up buying some couple of groceries at Publix. It wasn't really a whole bunch of groceries. It was like some Sunny Delight, hot dog buns, and something else. It wasn't a lot because I looked at my budget last month. I spent way too much money in groceries last month. It was way too high. I said, no more grocery shopping for me unless I'm coming with a list. But so that was $15 and it was easy. Take pictures of something and that was it and check the price. So I have 4 stores to do tomorrow. Well, was it 4? Yeah, 4 stores to do tomorrow. The Publix up the street, the other one up the street from my house, and then the Food Depot down the road, and then one other location. So I have a bunch of things to do tomorrow. I have to put a bunch of stickers and things on these merchandise that pay like $8, and it's like 8 stores, so that's like $64, and it's all close. And then I got the other ones to do with merchandiser. So I will make over $100 tomorrow. Just walking to the store, putting up some labels, and that's it. But let me tell you, and I made quite a lot of money that you're going to need. Well, yeah. What? Well, put it this way. If we ever decide to do a meetup or decide to go somewhere, we could do something. But I'm not going out of the country anytime soon until at least the fall. I'm not doing none. I'm not doing no kind of let's go to Mexico. Let's go. I'm gonna wait. I'm not doing it in the summer. It's gonna be too hectic. It's gonna be too hectic. It's not gonna be till late next year. Not late next year. Early next year before I really feel comfortable about taking a trip somewhere. But with the airlines and shortages and all this stuff going on, and short staffing and labor, I'm not really trying to rush to go anywhere because it's going to take a minute before things really be, like full staff with hotels, airlines. Everything is having shortages. Hotels can't find people, airlines can't find people. And I'm not talking about like the entry level job like flight attendants. I'm talking about pilots, flight attendants, maintenance crew. That's why American United, or was it United, or one of those airlines had cut 1% of the flight every day, which is like 600 flights a day. So because of staffing and shortages. So I'm not trying to rush to go somewhere quickly. If I go somewhere, it ain't gonna be in the summer. Summertime is too hectic. So I'm gonna wait till people go back to school. The prices of inflation, of food and everything else, I'm gonna wait till it goes down until the logistics come back to order. But that's what it is. They can't ship the products because of so many things going on worldwide. So until things start going back to, I ain't gonna say normal, but until those things get rectified, I'm gonna be real conscious of what I spend. I already wrote down my budget on this paper. I didn't even do electronically. I wrote it out. Mortgage, Georgia South, Walter EMC, Reliable, HVAC, Sprint, phone bill, groceries, gas, loan, insurance, HOA debt. I need to put student loan debt on that list too. But let me tell you, I looked at my budget. I said, oh God, I'm spending way too much money. And most of it was like food, I didn't do as many. I didn't go to Chick-fil-A every day. I didn't go to Chick-fil-A and all these fast food places. It was like going to the grocery store, going Publix, Aldi's, random spending money on things. So I said, nope. Only thing I'm gonna go to the grocery store for is to buy milk and probably some eggs. But in terms of like I ain't bought no chicken wings. I ain't bought no big meats because I just went to that food pantry a couple months ago and I already had me some chicken, and I'm good on supplies in terms of meat. So I don't really need to be buying no meat, to be honest. I already got a plenty of canned goods. Only thing I probably would like to go do. Shut up, dog. Dang. Neighbor dog across the street. I know they're walking it. And I know they ain't seen no cats because I ain't seen those cats all day today. Anyway, what was I saying? Shut up. I know they can hear me because if I was in here, people could actually hear me because my window's up. So if somebody was walking by and I was talking loud, or they could really hear what I'm saying. And the reason why I know that was because my neighbor that's on the side of me, Colas, he keeps telling me about that window being open. One day they used to be sitting out there in the section, and they was like, what was playing? Something was playing in the on my YouTube, and they responded to what it was hearing. It was coming from the YouTube, and I was sitting here like listening to everything they were talking about, and they could hear everything I was saying. If I was to talk, they'd probably hear what I'm saying. But anywho, that was about that. Oh, so let me tell y'all about man. Remember I was telling you about Skipcart? Let me put it in the. If y'all want to interested in looking at it one day, it's called Skipcart. Okay, so in the website it's called Skipcart. So last year I signed up for Skipcart. It's supposed to be like DoorDash and all those deliveries, food delivery services, I guess. Not pick up groceries and stuff like. Well, no, it is groceries. It's supposed to be picking up items like groceries and whatever. So they, like I told y'all, they sent me a message a couple of days ago. They said they are in Atlanta. They finally in Atlanta. They're gonna be permanently in Atlanta. And I signed up last year sometime, but they weren't looking for drivers. They said they weren't looking for anybody, and I guess they was in the beginning stages. So I signed up in the beginning stages. So when they were available in Atlanta, I'll be on the list. So they finally told me they were in Atlanta and they were here to stay. And so I turned on the app this morning, and for the last couple of days, I turned on the app, and at first they show you on the map the locations they are, and it seemed like they were in the south part of Atlanta, nowhere in the center of Atlanta. So today I saw that they were all over Atlanta, but I'm at home, so they could map you where you are. They're not gonna tell you where your address is. So I put online. It had a $28 offer. I was like, what? And it was to go to Corner Bakery to pick up a catering order. And I wasn't even dressed. I wasn't even ready to go out and about. It said it had to be, delivered by 11:30, 8 or something like that. And I was like, it was already like 10:20. I was like, dang, ain't no way I'm gonna pick that up at that time and then deliver it by the time they said. So I didn't even accept it. I let the time expire because it gives you an expiration date when it expires. So the expiration date was up. That was it. So I said, dang, I missed out on that one. So at least I know now that they're in all of Atlanta, basically. And how it works is you stay in the area where it's shaded, I guess. It's like DoorDash. You stay in that designated area, and then you wait for an order to come through. And then, can you do a cooking live stream? Nope. Number one, my phone does not have me capabilities of doing YouTube live stream unless I do StreamYard, and that is too small to hold the phone, do a live stream, and cook at the same time. So nope, not gonna do that. And besides, I'm not cooking anything that's elaborate, I guess. Now I will probably do, so if I was doing grilling like I did before, I may do a video and say, "Oh, look what I cooked, y'all. I did a grill." I may do that, but I'm not going to do a live stream cooking. I don't have the camera system like that to do all that. Because if I was doing live stream and I'm not monetized on YouTube, so I can't do YouTube on my phone and do it like that. I'm not monetized. The only way I could do live stream if I get on StreamYard, and I do my StreamYard that I'm doing it's on my computer, and I'm sitting here in the office, and I could do it on the phone, but it's too small. It's not going to be able to do it. Why you want me to do cooking live stream anyway? I thought you know how to cook, Tyson. Besides, with the price of meat and everything else, and what is there to cook? I cook basic. I know how to cook, but I don't cook elaborate things to do a live stream on. You know how some people, they have their cooking channels, they have it where they have the camera and everything else. But let me go back and finish Skipcart. So I'm looking, later on, I get a messages saying they're paying an extra $4 plus whatever on top of that. So I'll probably do Skipcart when I'm out and about. When I'm out and about, I'm gonna do it when I do my survey.com merchandising assignments and my other little things. And then I may turn on the app when I'm like in Atlanta. If I'm ever in Buckhead or somewhere, I'm gonna do it and turn it on and see what kind of orders that I would get. But they launched a big thing where they have Walmart for sure, and they also have AutoZone. So people, they want you to go to the AutoZone, you pick up whatever piece or part that people want and deliver it, and then deliver it. So I assume that's going to be more like, what I've been thinking now when I think about it? I think it's going to be mostly those auto mechanic places, because they can't get the parts overseas, so they got to get the part from AutoZone, so fix people's cars. Because normally you go to an auto mechanic place. I'm not talking about the car dealerships and stuff, but maybe it is car dealerships. Because they're not getting the ships and parts, they have to basically order the parts wherever it is at AutoZone. So if they need to fix people's cars, AutoZone may have it, and they're not going to order it to be shipped to the dealership or the auto mechanic place. So if people having their cars broken down, and not even so much major parts, it could be just simple air conditioning or timing belt or whatever. And people are not buying they're not buying new cars. And if they have a used car, it's gonna need to be fixed. So if they're not having the general parts delivered to these mechanics, they're gonna have to go to AutoZone or somewhere else to get it. So I could see why Skipcart is using people to pick up the part and deliver it, because number one, no, that's not the main reason. I was just, now I think about it, because one of my subscribers, Jameson, I don't know where he at. He used to be on here. Jameson used to work at a place where AutoZone, one of those type of places, and he used to drive to pick up the parts, and then you would drop it off or whatever. So if all these places, AutoZone and whomever, they can't find people to work to drive the vehicles to pick up the parts. That's where Skipcart, and I think someone told me Uber was doing that too. They was at Uber, they would pop up and say, we need someone to pick up something from wherever and deliver it. I think Uber was doing that too. Now, I don't know how much they pay or whatever, but all I know, I'll let y'all know. I'm going to do it. I ain't going to do it like an everyday, my primary income, but I'm going to, since I signed up, I'm going to see. But man, it was so disappointing when I saw that $26 payout and and it was a catering offer. And then it was like, they had other offers, but I turned off the app. So, but I'm going to do it though. All right, I'm going to go online and show y'all the app real quick before I get off. All right, this is what it looks like. You see it? I don't know if y'all can see that. All right, I'm going back. I don't know if y'all saw it, but that's what it looks like. So there's a new game in town with the Skipcart. But I'm not going to be doing a whole lot. I'm going to do it maybe a couple of days during the week or whatever, just to see how it, just to see how it goes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how it goes. Because I don't want to exhaust myself out. But at the same time, I kind of miss doing deliveries. Not the shopping part, not picking up people in the car. I don't miss that part of it. I don't want to pick up people and drive them around and all that. I don't want to do that. But I do miss doing the groceries. But it was only certain aspects that I like about Instacart and Ship maybe. Well, but I know is when I know I be in certain areas. See, you have to find a good area and I had a certain number of clientele. I always knew when I did Instacart and I said I would do it on Saturdays, Sundays, primarily Saturdays and Sundays, and maybe during the week. But I knew that when I go to Snellville and all in those other areas, certain areas I would go to Swanee, Snellville, Lawrenceville area. I knew I went to those areas. I know I always had the same people that always want to that I do grocery shopping for and drop off. It was like clockwork. And if you work it right and not let them dictate to you to go from 300 miles and all these, all over Atlanta and this and that or whatever, you burned up your gas. See, that's how you do it. Now, I did have that bad experience when that ship, that damn boat incident. I know some of y'all who are my loyal, frequent people who watched the video when I was talking about the boat on Lake Lanier and the ice and the chicken thigh situation, and whew, I think that was one of the worst things ever, was doing that. But I never did hear anything about that class action claims yet. I don't know where my money is, but I knew I was on the list, and I knew I got information about that class action lawsuit and the amount of money. I haven't heard nothing back from it yet. But let me give y'all some advice. Don't toss your mail all over the place and don't open up no envelopes. So yesterday, I'm sitting there at my dining room table, and I'm sorting through all these papers that was on my table. You know, so I'm looking through my mail, and I say I don't just open up and throw it away, right? So I said Fifth Third Bank. Fifth Third Bank was that raggedy ass company that financed that Kia. I opened up the envelope. I saw a check for $33. I was like, what? $33? They mailed me a check back in March. And they said, oh, we were going back and we saw that we charged you fees, payment. I said, I don't have no checking account and I didn't have no bank account with them. So I was like, where's this coming from? So I said, oh, that's from the finance of my car, Kia. I've been paid off that damn car with Fifth Third Bank. But it was a certain time period. I had to think about it. It was a certain time period where I had this big ass dispute with them about the charge. They were trying to charge me some late fee. I said, I ain't paying no late. I said, my payments come out every month, the same day, automatically every month. And I remember arguing with them about it, went to the bank, everything. The only thing I didn't do was cause a ruckus to the point where they had to call the cops or whatever. Because, see, I know to my extent of how far I'm going to go. You know, I'm not going to go up there threatening. I ain't going to go there, fuck you, and did it, and yelling and screaming because, see, they'll call the cops. And then, I'll be in Gwinnett County Jail. So I remember arguing with this stupid-ass Fifth Third Bank of a charge they charged me. And that, I think I called customer service. I made a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. I did all these little things. And I said, fuck you, Fifth Third Bank. And so here it is. And this has been a while. This ain't no recent incident. So I opened up the letter. We apologize, but we did overcharge you. I must have paid up that Kia a good 3, 4, 5 years ago. I won't say 5 years ago. I paid them off for I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. So here's a check plus interest and blah, blah, blah. So I took a deposit, I took a snapshot and deposited it to my savings account. I said, you know what? I ain't going to say God is good, but I would say God is good because that was found money. But if I had just, started dumping or never opened up the envelopes or never cleaned off that table, I would have never knew I had that check that was owed to me. So I'm thinking, shoot, I probably have a whole bunch of checks waiting on me that I haven't even opened yet because that's just to prove. I had to think about what that came from. These companies know they be owing people money, and you could say something about it, and you could be like, all you got to do is maybe it'll come back twofolds. One way or the other, it will come back twofolds. Damn. Bucks 123 to Atlanta 112. And trust me, that was not really close. They were losing from the beginning. And Trey Young, he's not playing. They say he's still hurt. And then the other one with the black Greek, he got hurt, so he didn't play either. I'm just waiting for this Eastern Conference thing to be over with because it's been dragging on. The Western Conference final thing is over. Phoenix and Chris Paul, they going to the finals. So I'm rooting for Phoenix anyway. So whatever happens, Phoenix going to win. I don't see Atlanta going to beat no Phoenix. No. And trust me, if the Bucks could hang in there and they could beat Atlanta, I doubt that the Bucks are gonna win. So whoever goes, they ain't gonna beat no Phoenix. I'll be surprised and shocked, but I doubt it. All right, anybody coming on here? Because if not, I'm gonna end. I'm gonna put the invite in the link. Everybody. I ain't see David in a while. He ain't been on here. All right, y'all. I got the link in the chat. So anybody want to come on, let me know. Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing Skipcart. I'm gonna, when I'm out and about, if I'm out and about tomorrow and I finish my assignments with the merchandising assignments, I'm gonna turn it on just to see what kind of how the process works, how it looks, how it goes. And I'll let y'all know if I get anything. But dang, I should have took that $28 catering order when I saw it, but I was like, ugh. But oh well. Because like I said, when I first came on here, they was all the way in Fairburn. They was not even all over Atlanta, but now I see that they all over. Yeah, I'm gonna see how that goes tomorrow. I'm gonna see how that goes. I ain't gonna do all day because I got other things I need to finish. So if I get one and it's a decent payout, I'll do it. I'll do it, but I ain't gonna do it like all day. So that's kind of interesting to see how it goes. I went on other YouTube channels and looked at Skipcart. So Skipcart is not like brand new, but they've been in other cities and other places. And I think it's like over a year ago. A lot of people was like, it wasn't like paying a whole lot, but I think that when they first came out, it might be still smaller accounts. But one thing I can say for sure, it's not like anybody could just sign up and they're gonna just be like Uber and Grubhub and everybody sign. No, I think they're gonna have only a number of people, and I think as they grow and get bigger, they'll add more people on. But I don't think it's gonna be oversaturated and stuff. And I'm not going to be driving. I did register that I'm going to use the Nissan Rogue just in case they say they want to know what the car looks like when they come and pick it up. But I doubt that I'll be driving that vehicle as a primary car to do it all the time. And now I'll drive, in it, every other day and maybe do some, I ain't gonna use it as every day. That's what I know. I'll do it a couple of days here and that's it. But I'm not gonna be putting all those miles and all that stuff. Not like that. You have to be smart when you start doing deliveries. Regardless of who it is. I know one thing. That Kia, I rolled that Kia from all those apps I was doing. All right, nobody want to come in the room, and there's 6 people in here, but yet I don't see nobody else talking. Colas, what you got to say? Vicky, I know Dorian, you working. Only people I'm gonna give passes to about not coming on here is Dorian, because I know Dorian be working all the time, but she still listens. Erica, I know you be listening, and I know you be laughing when I mention your name, and then you be like, ah. But it's 11:23, so I know you probably sleeping or in bed. Usually you come on, but you probably busy. Tyson, you could join in the room. Come on in. All you gotta do is highlight the link, and then you could click on it if you can't. Vicky, I know you say you never come on. I don't understand. But are you still doing those other things that you was telling me about? What have y'all been doing lately? All right, y'all don't say nothing when it comes when it gets to an hour. I only got 4 minutes. Nobody's not gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna be on too long. We got 4 more minutes. Speak your piece. But just summarize. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Let me summarize. So the PPP, LE, rental assistance, anything dealing with the CARES Act and monies and assistance, that's gonna end pretty soon. Give it a couple, the middle of this month. Um, the rent moratorium, certain states had extended it until I read July 31st, the end of the month. That's going to end at the end of the month. Unemployment, all that stuff. Some Georgia, they ended that last week. So, I think that's pretty much it. All the monies and the grants and stuff, that's pretty much gone. I didn't get the extra $5,000 because they told me no, you didn't qualify, and I didn't know why. They said you get an email. I didn't know why. They didn't say why I didn't get it, but I didn't push too much about it. I mean, it would have been nice, but I said nope. There was too much focuses now on the government now going back to audit a lot of these monies they were giving out to people, and there was a lot of people that had committed fraud. And they're not looking at people who are getting millions of dollars either. They're looking at small amounts too. I'm not talking about they're going to go after the ones with $1,000 and stuff, but I'm talking about they've been going after a lot. A lot of these things has been audited. People getting the PPP loan, even this is $10,000 loan and all that stuff. They've been auditing that. And like I said, someone wanted me to discuss the difference between the two, but let me give you just the small synopsis. PPP, the LE grant, basically is you must file a tax return with a Schedule C and have verifiable income that you are self-employed or independent contractor, basically. The loan, you take out a loan, it's supposed to cover things like payroll. That's it. And you pay it back in increments at a 4% interest rate. And the important thing is that you must have filed a tax return on Schedule C. Will there be any more PPP or any type of government assistance and things like that? No, it won't. There will not be any more ED grants and PPP loans, and all that's gone. All the money, anything now that's focusing in Congress is going to be infrastructure, trying to fix bridges, probably continue to bail out, big businesses. Um, And the next biggest thing is going to be the child tax credit, that one that's given out for 4 months. If you had child tax credit for those who are, children under 6 is $3,500 or $4,000. That's gonna be given out in 3 month increments based on the child tax credit. But come next year, when the third quarter and the fourth quarter of the year, when it's time for them to look at the spending ceiling limit and also start revising what the IRS is going to do, don't think that because you got the child tax credit and everything else that you're going to continue to get it next year. They already advanced that out with these 3 months, 4 months. So there's going to be a lot of changes in regards to what people pay in taxes, what type of credits they're going to be allowed. Don't expect a whole lot. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, we'll vote for Trump. Oh, Biden. Biden ain't give two fat rat asses about black folks. Because I didn't vote for Trump. I mean, to be honest, I hate to say this, but I think that people had too much in their feelings about Trump and all the egregious things he said. And I think that if he had focused more on the policies that he wanted to do and not speak so ill about, Mexicans, oh, Indians, oh, this, that, or whatever, and, regardless of the crooked things he's going to be going through with the Trump organization, because I don't think they're going to charge Trump personally. It's going to be against the company or organization and all the things he's done. But he ain't no different than anybody else that has money and could get away with things. Look at Bill Cosby. That man knew he drugged those women and did all those things, and here it is, he's going to have 10 years or whatever, 5 years, and then he's released from prison from the Philadelphia Supreme Court, and it don't have nothing to do with color. It has to do if you got money. If you got money, you could get away with a lot of things unless you kill yourself like that Epstein guy or whatever. Because if he didn't do that, they would have dragged that issue out and that court case out to the point where they would found some kind of loophole to let him go or dismiss his case. No matter how bad it was, trust and believe all the people who was involved in his case, dukes and prince and someone in England and all that kind of stuff. And it was a lot of people. Let me tell you, I don't believe that. Now I know I'm talking off topic now. I don't believe that Epstein guy. I don't believe he killed himself. I think somebody killed him. They had other people involved, big people with big names. He didn't kill himself. I really believe somebody in the system got a hold of him, made it look like a suicide, made it look like he killed himself and covered it up. I don't think that man just killed himself. How you worth billions of dollars and you just, over some child pornography or, so-called raping minors and women. I mean, a whole bunch of, and got away with it for years, and all of a sudden it came up because someone says it's the same thing like Bill Cosby. It ain't no different. The same situation, even R. Kelly, that whole same situation. They would have found a loophole somehow or another to let that man. He would have been. It would have been a technicality of some sort, just like Bill Cosby. some technicality. That man know he drugged those people, drugged those girls and those women. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with the color of your skin. It had more to do with money. You got money, and you got the money, you can get away with a lot of stuff that a regular common person won't do. If a regular common person with no money was to do something like that, they would have got away with it. They would have got away with it. You know? So Bill Cosby being out of jail or whatever case may be, I can't even say that's shocking. I'll say, oh my God, he got away. You know, the man is 80 something years old. You know? What he gonna do? He can't. I'm gonna do a TV show. I'm gonna do interviews and this and that or whatever. Ain't nothing he could do. That man gonna need to lay low, um, live out his old age, and that's it. You know. Next time you hear anything about Bill Cosby, they're gonna say he died. That's the only thing you're gonna hear about him. And like I said, that Epstein guy, I doubt that he killed himself. I doubt that he committed suicide. I think somebody killed him and looked so close to a suicide because him and a whole bunch of other big wigs, they wasn't going to get caught up if that thing went to court. I could assure you. R. Kelly, I don't know. It probably be the same thing with him, you know, all these other stuff. Trump, the organization, I doubt that they'll send him to prison. Like I said, Al Capone, he did a whole lot of stuff, and the only way how he got caught and went to prison was because he frauded the IRS, and that's the only way how that gonna be. If Trump goes to prison, personally, him going to prison, I don't know. I don't understand it. That'll be something interesting. They may drag that on. They may drag that on purpose because it's best that they drag this on until it gets to the point of the election year. You know, 4 years will be here real quick. I'm gonna tell you, 4 years will come and go. But if they could drag that, they're gonna drag that on. At least wait till the election year when it's time to go for another president to make sure he don't get on a ballot. That's how they're gonna drag this on. If they could drag that on and put that out there like that, and if Congress is smart, they'll pass a law about it, about no person could run for president if you under this, that, whatever. Not convicted, but hopefully they'll drag that on until it's time for election for the president. But we're entering a mid-year term election, so everything that is done has more to do with people being involved. So the only reason why I see some of these politicians are protecting Trump and all that stuff, it ain't got nothing to do with no damn bunch of dumb crackers want to climb a wall and all that. They'll give two rat asses, and they talk about he started the election. You know, it's just it makes me so sick when I see these dumb hillbillies. There's some black folks too that's in that little hillbilly mentality too. They just as stupid too. But there's some on YouTube. This person, I know she's a Trump supporter, and she swears everything by what those white folks be saying. Her name is Sadie. What her name is on YouTube? Whatever. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll bring it up. But, you know, I don't want nobody to be subscribing to her channel just to listen to what she has to say. But she sounds like a bitch. I think she's from Atlanta, too. Sci-Fi or somebody, whatever. She be talking. See, her videos will be talking about people who get not Social Security, who's on welfare. She likes to bash, and she's black old woman. And she talked about a lot of people be on welfare, don't want to work. That's her angle on her channel. You know, now I'm not saying I agree with people being on type of government assistance. If you're on assistance and you need the help, fine, you need the help, but don't be a lifetime generational staying on public assistance and welfare forever. You know, there's a point where you need help, that you're gonna need the assistance, childcare, housing, but don't let it be your whole life, generational passing on, living in public housing to the next generation, to the next generation. And I know some people, they do that. They young. And you young too? I don't agree with that. I know this person named Shabria. She been on housing, live right downtown Atlanta, and her son, and they be on public housing, paying whatever, less than $100 a month in rent. And she 30 something years old. Girl, you better go back to you better go to school. And she was working, but I don't know. I haven't spoken to her in a minute. She was the one that worked with me at Wipro. She was one of them that worked with me at Wipro. But somehow or another, she got on that list for public housing and stuff. And she was working, she could work here and there, but I don't agree that people at a certain age should be given that type of assistance like that. Now, food stamp, SNAP card, maybe some kind of voucher for childcare, but not all of those things. And remember that other girl I was telling you that people say, Miss Teresa, go help Shabria, she need help. And I told her she need to go back home to California with her people, even though her parents and stuff passed away, and she had her sister, but she still had relatives. And I told her, you need to go back home with your son. And her aspirations was, girl, to be led, it's like we, that lazy ass. She didn't even want to help me clean or cook or nothing. And I let her stay for 1 week, and I was like, nope, because I told her, when I get up to go to work, and we work at the same job. When I get up to go to work, you better be up too. We better be at this house by 8 o'clock to go on down the day with Pro. And she'd be like, I don't feel I'm sick. And she thinking she was going to lay around all day. Y'all remember that story? And, y'all remember that story I told. And then I used to had to work someplace else, and I came back, and she used to leave early and stuff. And I don't know what happened to that chick. I don't know what happened to her. She said she was pregnant, but she, I don't know. It was a mess. But people just, when I think about some of the things that happened in the last couple of years, not even at COVID, just prior to COVID, these young girls, fighting in the cafe, fighting in the break room. I had to break up. I'm sitting here talking to this one girl. Next thing you know, she jumped up, started beating up the other girl. I was like, wait a minute, stop it. That was a funny situation. I wish I had that damn recorded that incident. That was too funny. Some of these jobs I worked at, Wipro and CGS, the people a trip. T-Tech, never. Never. One day I'm going to look back on these YouTube videos and listen to these stories that I was telling y'all about, and I don't know. I don't know. It's a sad state of situations with these, especially the young girls. I can't even speak about the guys, but these young girls, even like the person who rented the space in my room and stuff. It's just, she's like, and I could tell she was on something when she called me back. Girl, I'm about to go and say my birthday and stuff. Her mama probably didn't even want to help her. Not really. How your mother lives here in Atlanta, and I know she had no place to stay. I know the mom, because the mother was just cursing and carrying on when they got here, like I told y'all. Shoot. I don't know. I know I had some time with my mother when I was growing up. When I was graduating from high school at 18, I ain't did nothing close to none of these stupid stuff that people were doing. No way close. Now I understood why my mother was like, when I was your age, I was living in my mother's house and da-da-da-da. I can see why she, some of the things I didn't agree with or whatever. I ain't gonna say agree with, but some of the things my parents rather did when I was 18, 19, but never, not to that extent, not to this extent. There's a lot of things that I regret doing, but But I went through a whole lot. When I moved out of my parents' house or whatever, I went through some mess. But I wasn't irresponsible. I wasn't like, not like that. Not to the point like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's why I probably be so helpful, not helpful, but so sorry for people and let people like, okay, you can stay here for a week or this, because I know at one point in my life I went through that. I had people who helped me, like a counselor at school. He let me stay with him and his wife and his children, and I stayed with them in Queens. And I mean, I had people who helped me. I really did. And then I had some people who helped me, but they wanted other things in exchange, particularly if it was a guy or a dude. I mean, I went through a lot. When I lived in New York and I lived on my own, ooh, the stories I could tell of my life experience and the fact that I was able to go through all of that, I would say I have to thank God for seeing me through a lot of things. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all because that's going to be another 3-hour story, and I don't want to do that. Your pleasure, you coming in late. See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all come in all late when it's about for me to go. And I was supposed to get off this thing 15 minutes ago. So you're going to have to catch the replay. At least the first 30 minutes, you get the juice of the story. Hey, Lillian. You say you're going to keep listening? So that's my whole entire synopsis, I guess. So come next Tuesday, Maximus, my job position will end with the CDC. And they say you can look online and see if there's other positions available, but I don't think I want to bother with Maximus unless it's like unless they pay very well and it's a long-term contract. And I'm not talking about no $16.75 an hour. I'm talking about something that's gonna pay, but I doubt it. I don't want to go there. But I'll work at Amazon, and I'll also do my independent gig jobs, and then I'll do Skipcart probably this week. Well, I'm maybe do it tomorrow. When I'm out and about tomorrow, I'm gonna turn on the app and see what kind of how it works with that company. I know like I said, they say they're supposed to pick up AutoZone and Walmart, so I'm going to see how that goes and see what the payout looks like with that company. So since they're new in Atlanta, I'm really curious to see. So I may start do that for a couple of days if I get anything. If I get, but like I said, I'm so mad that I missed out on that $28 offer that came this morning for a catering job. I was like, dang, I missed it. And I should have took it, but like I said, it was kind of confusing because it was like 10:30ish when I turned on the app and was online, and then it said must be completed by 11:38. So I didn't really know where exactly it was, but I should have done it. That 20-something, I should have took that one. But, like I said, I ain't going to worry about it. There's many more orders that's going to happen throughout the time, and ain't something it's not going to be my primary job where I'm going to be driving a whole lot. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it, because I still got the other apps to do, and survey.com and merchandising and all these, other things that I was doing. At least I know that if it says it's paid $15, that's $15. I don't gotta be like, I know exactly where I have to go. Most of it is local and is close by. And then Observer, putting some stickers on some merchandising, paying $8, and it takes me 10 minutes. The only harder thing about that is looking for it at the store. But other than that, it's not hard. So I know a lot of people. I know DeJour was on here yesterday. He said he made $400 that one day doing Instacart. I was like, that was good. But he did that in the morning, like 4 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Pretty much, if you work at hours like that, for starting first thing in the morning till 9, 10 o'clock, you pretty much could make $400. That's doable, especially when you're working those amount of hours. Especially you working that many hours. But like I said, you have to make sure you keep track of your miles. I hope he should have been on here. I could at least ask to make sure that he don't make sure you write down your miles and your expenses like food. If you go out and about eating throughout the day and you buy, even if you buy a hot dog at Quick Trip, make sure you keep track of all of those type of expenses when you're doing these gig jobs, because that's what you want to keep track of when you do your taxes next year. So you don't need nothing fancy. All you need is like write something down in a book and write down you spend, X amount of money on, especially when you buy beverages and drinks and stuff. You working at the time, you write 50% of your food expenses, when you doing these jobs, 1099, and keep track of your miles and keep track of your how much you made. So that's all I gotta say about that. I haven't really came across too many people's YouTube channels about Instacart and Grubhub and all the rest of the apps in the past. There's a lot of people I haven't really been watching. I'm talking about the old people that I was watching from 3, 4 years ago. I have not been watching anybody. I've been watching brand new YouTube channels, especially people talking about the PPP loan. There's this one guy I watched him all day today. He was um, responding to different people in the news committing PPP loan fraud. His name is Pocket Watching with JT. He's a financial consultant and tax something or whatever he does. I was watching his videos all day with all these different newscasts of people being caught up with the PPP fraud, and it was too funny. I was like, God dang, you should have seen some of the things. And I was watching some of these news things. People are buying Lamborghinis and exotic cars and all kind of stuff. And these were people who were filing PPP loan applications for people, and also rental assistance and all this kind of stuff. So they're not just looking at people who asking for the PPP loan. They also looking at people who were preparing the PPP loans for people, because everything you do on your computer is traceable. And people were doing like $100. I mean, like they were charging people $150 just to do PPP loans and all kind of stuff. Some people didn't even know they even was getting a PPP loan because people were using their information to get it. And then some people tell them, well, if you get the $10,000 or whatever, I get 10% of that. I mean, it was like, I saw some people who were doing masterclass on how to get a PPP loan, and they were doing YouTube channels and stuff. And I know there was one black girl. I was, she was, when they first came out with that PPP loan, they was doing, they weren't even talking about it on YouTube, like generally talking like I did, which even though I didn't go extensive on it, they were charging people just for information that is free. If you just go to SBA.gov and you go to the ELE grant or whatever you call it, or the PPP loan, it'll tell you what to do. It was so simple They made it so simple to fill it out, but you have to understand. You have to file the main thing. I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. The main thing whether you get in the ELE grant or the PPP loan is that you have to file a tax return of a Schedule C. That's it. You have to have a business and that's not even, you could be an independent contractor doing Uber Eats, Grubhub, whatever, or have some kind of small business, but you're filing a Schedule C. That is the thing. Not a made up business that you just made up and have a fake Schedule C. You have to have some sort of trail of where did you make your money. So like I said, for me, when they gave me my grant, they asked me, what did you do? It was based on income from 2019. And I said, okay. What I did in 2019, I said I was doing food deliveries with this company, blah, 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 this company, XYZ. I made this amount of money doing survey.com with the merchandising and stuff like that. And I had it all on the spreadsheet. Everything, when I made money or whatever, I would keep track of what I made and how much I made. So that is, and then I filed it. And then when I filed my tax return, I had a Schedule C, and it had the merchandising income I made from survey and the field agent, because I did make, and then I had the ones with the food deliveries, whatever. And that was it. And let me tell you, and one last thing I want to say, and it has nothing to do with PPP and ELE grant. Also, there is no statute of limitations when it comes to fraud. Now, when you file your tax return, the IRS has 10 years to collect or examine a tax return. So if you file Schedule C and all that stuff, and I've been mentioning this for so long to the point where I get tired of saying it, that if you're not, and I'm talking about people who are really doing these apps work, like really, really working these apps. I'm not talking about someone who do it like 2 days a week, make a couple $100 and you work a full-time job and you have tax withholdings or whatever. But if you're one of these people who do these app work and you've been doing it for 5-6 years and you've been making, some people say they make 50, 60,000 plus a year. You ain't paid no quarterly estimate taxes, and you try to write off everything that you figuring you make that much, you just negate it down to zero. You're in a bad awakening that the IRS is so backed up. They so understaffed. There's so many people retiring and leaving and all that kind of stuff. They don't have the manpower to go back and assess those tax returns. But it's going to be done. So they will come back and they will notify you in the letter. They will notify people eventually. They just too behind. That's the problem. They so behind. They so behind that I'm supposed to get a refund from 2017 I filed that tax return and they still haven't filed it. So you know how much interest that I'm going to get from that money when they finally process 2 years, 3 years tax returns that's been sitting in a box or sitting in a mailroom because they don't have nobody to process it. That's the problem. But they're going to owe me interest on all that money. When they finally get to it, see, just the same way that you pay interest and penalties on taxes that you don't pay, you also get interest and penalties. You also get interest on money for tax returns that's due to you. So you may say, well, I filed a tax return and I'm due a refund of $500. Why I didn't get it? You ain't going to get it anytime soon. That's how backed up they are. I have another tax return I need to file for myself because I didn't file a withdrawal from my thrift plan, but I paid the tax on that and I have to get a refund of that money, which is the difference. And I'm going to mail that tomorrow, but it may take months before I get any of that money that's due to me. That's why it's important to file your tax return, the tax return with the year that it's due electronically. Because if you have to mail a tax return in and you do a refund, it's gonna be a whole long hell in time to get that. I'm gonna have to call my congressperson tomorrow and make a complaint or make an inquiry, at least knowing that they got it, because I know I filled it out because I already got the state refund. So I don't know. All I know is these companies be owing people money. And like I said, Fifth Third Bank, I know I'm summarizing what I talked about. That's what I'm doing now. So when Fifth Third Bank mailed me that check and I almost threw that thing in the garbage because I had it stacked up on the table and didn't go through my mail, that check was cut back in March of this year. Luckily, it was this year, not last year. Then the check would be no good. But shoot, man, I don't know. Between these labor shortages and people hard for them to find workers, and it's not just fast food restaurants, it's not just low income, it's all across the board that a lot of people are not going back to work. And I don't know why. I mean, some of it could be the COVID, some of it could be because people have kids and they was used to working from home or whatever it may be. But this stimulus and this CARES Act and all that unemployment and that extra $300 and all that can come to an end. So, and if you doing gig work and stuff, it may be nice and good to just do that and think you're making some money, but you better also keep your regular job if you got one. And if you don't have one, you better start looking for something. Now, I don't know what people's circumstances are or situations, but I'm always going to find me a job. And I'm always going to keep my money set aside. I'm trying to, God willing, I'm trying to pay as much as my debt off that I can. And I was looking at an article that this lady, she said she had moved to Mexico and is retired. She moved from California to Mexico, and I was reading the article. She was a writer too, but and she was writing her story of her living in Mexico and how cheap it was and inexpensive. And I was like, man, I said, maybe by me trying to worry about finding some place to live in the United States to retire, maybe I should consider moving to Mexico. Not, it's different parts of Mexico, trust me. Because, people want to say, move to Florida. You don't know what they'd be building those condos in, those sand dunes and, those sinkholes and stuff, and all these weather issues and things like that. So, anywho, I shall talk to y'all tomorrow. All right. Y'all have a good night. I've been on here long enough. I'm ready to go to bed. All right, Tyson, Colas, Your Pleasure, Lillian, Dorian, Erica. Who else I think may be on here? I already said Colas. I already said Tyson. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I do appreciate it. Please subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.